man will lie to you. Well, anyone that's gonna play that deceit is gonna make you believe whatever. So I talked to the woman and I believe her. That's right, I did sleep with somebody, but I did it the right way. I left you first. I was single.
She came to my mom's house, said she was gonna leave her daughter on the doorstep. I'm not there, no one's there. She said, I don't care, man, I'm coming there. She took a picture of the door and sent it to my phone.
I still had this intuition, so I went through the phone one night and seen a video. I mean, I have video of something that's showing me.
What? Did you bring that video to court?
I have the video. You kind of see it? You see that grinding?
Oh, I see it.
Can you believe he started with that? Mr. Jerome Bolton expresses doubts about the paternity of Ms. Beto's 7-month-old daughter, Ileana, questioning if he is the biological father due to her appearance. Ms. Beto is furious about the DNA test request, feeling it has disrupted their previously happy home. The audience reacts sympathetically as Mr. Bolton shares his emotional attachment to Ileana, despite his doubts. Just when you think it can't get more dramatic, the next moment takes it up a notch.
You say you were furious when the defendant asked you for a DNA test on your 7-month-old daughter. Now you claim that request has broken up your happy home. You state you have reason to believe Ms. Beto's child may not be your biological daughter. You are desperate to discover the truth because you've already grown to love her as your own.
Imagine coming back to court under these circumstances. The episode references Mr. Bolton's previous court appearance concerning another child, where he was found not to be the father. Mr. Bolton recounts the delivery of Ileana, where a doctor's remark about the baby's light complexion deepened his paternity concerns, leading to tension and audience shock. The reaction in the courtroom sets the stage for an even more shocking revelation up next.
So what has happened since you were last here?
Last time I was in court, I was very devastated to find out the news about the young boy not being mine. In the same sense, I was happy because Ms. Beto was pregnant with a child, supposed to be mine. When the baby was born, I cut the umbilical cord, the doctors wiped the baby off. Ms. Beto, the baby, at first. She gave the procedure to deliver the baby. He handed me the baby and he looked at me. He said, "Are you sure this baby's yours?" And I looked at the doctor, I'm like...
You won't believe what they discuss next. Ms. Beto defends the baby's complexion by explaining their mixed racial backgrounds, which include Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Black heritages. She details familial traits like changing eye colors, challenging the basis of Mr. Bolton's doubt. The conversation shifts to a broader discussion of racial characteristics and family genetics. Hang on, because the next part adds another layer to their story.
We're mixed. I'm Dominican and Black. He's Puerto Rican and Black. People in my family have different color eyes. My eyes are hazel. My father's eyes are green. He told me that when he was a young boy, when he was a baby, as a matter of fact, his eyes were blue and then they turned green. So I don't see where the doubt is because people continuously said, oh, she's so white. What's wrong with that?
The tension escalates here. Mr. Bolton narrates various instances where friends, family, and even strangers express surprise about the baby's paternity due to her skin color and eye color, which exacerbates his doubts. Each comment about Ileana's appearance from external individuals adds to his insecurity, discussed in the court amidst audience reactions. The courtroom is buzzing, but it's nothing compared to what's coming next.
I didn't have any doubts until the doctor said something. When we brought Ileana home from the hospital, we had friends and family come over to see the baby, then looking at the baby like, oh, she's beautiful. Is she yours?
That's not what they said, Your Honor. What they were saying, maybe on his, but my side, they did make some comment. I see him all the time in her. I see a little bit of my features, but mostly I see him.
Things get really heated now. The couple discusses a previous breakup due to Mr. Bolton's infidelity, during which Ms. Beto admits to having slept with another man, further fueling Mr. Bolton's paternity doubts. This confession leads to a heated exchange about trust, loyalty, and the implications of their actions on their relationship and Mr. Bolton's doubts. As the tension mounts, the upcoming reveal will leave everyone speechless.
We actually broke up last year around August. It was due to infidelity on his behalf.
The whole time that I was cheating, I got a couple of buddies. I cheated, I did, and I admit to that. She left.
I'm gonna confront, and when I found the information, and me and the woman, we also talked, because man will lie to you. Well, anyone that's gonna play that deceit is gonna make you believe whatever. So I talked to the woman, and I believe her. That's right, I did sleep with somebody, but I did it the right way. I left you first. I was single.
Nothing could prepare you for this conclusion. The DNA results reveal
it has been determined by this court. Mr. Bolton, you are her father.
Que yo dice, but what I tell you.
The courtroom buzzes with anticipation as Ms. Brown steps up to the plate. Ms. Brown opens her case by emphasizing the importance of her 1-year-old daughter, Sania's future, declaring her intent to prove Mr. Rutledge's paternity. She passionately stresses the necessity of having both parents involved in Sania's life, noting that Mr. Rutledge has only seen their daughter once. Just when you think it's all serious, the courtroom drama dials up a notch.
Ms. Brown, you say the only thing thing that matters to you today is the future of your 1-year-old daughter, Sanaya. You state you're here to prove the defendant, Mr. Rutledge, is her biological father because she needs 2 parents, yet he's seen her only once in her life.
Yes, Your Honor.
Here comes the curveball from Mr. Rutledge's side of the field. Mr. Rutledge challenges Ms. Brown's claims by suggesting that other men could also be the child's father, highlighting doubts about paternity. His sister's involvement in the case is hinted at, setting up a complex family dynamic and more testimonial fireworks. Brace yourself. There's a plot twist coming right up.
Mr. Rutledge, you say despite Ms. Brown's denial, there are indeed other men could be her child's father. Your sister, Ms. Rutledge, is also involved in this case, and we'll hear more from her shortly.
You could hear a pin drop as Mr. Rutledge drops a bombshell about Ms. Brown's past relationships with his family. Mr. Rutledge reveals Ms. Brown's previous relationships with his relatives, including a one-night stand with his cousin and an alleged pregnancy scam involving his brother. This jaw-dropping disclosure sends shockwaves through the audience and casts a shadow of doubt over Ms. Brown's credibility regarding the true paternity of her child. Buckle up because the emotional roller coaster is just picking up speed.
Me and Ms. Brown was never in a relationship. It was only sexual relationship. I met Ms. Brown. She was seeing my cousin. They was dating. After they broke up, they split up, whatever. She got with my other cousin. Had a one-night stand with him, got with my brother. Now, let me tell you that. When she got with my brother, she ran the same story on my brother and told my brother that she was pregnant by him. Tells my brother that, oh, I need you to give me money for a morning after pill.
Ms. Brown comes back swinging with a strong defense of her past and current relationship with Mr. Rutledge. Ms. Brown defends her character and relationship history with Mr. Rutledge, challenging his portrayal of their relationship as merely sexual. She calls him out on his recent disappearance, accusing him of reconnecting with the mother of one of his other children. The stakes are high, and just when you think it's all out in the open, there's more to come.
Started even messing with each other because we had mutual friends. We were around each other. He had a chance to get to know me and everything, and as you can see, he still decided to have contact with me, so obviously I couldn't have been that much of a bad person. And he claims that we were just friends and we were never, he was always at my house until he went missing for like 4 days, and you know, I didn't know where he was at because usually he would at least text me or call me even if he didn't come over, and like out of nowhere, like for 4 days straight, I didn't hear from him or anything. And he came back out of nowhere, new sneakers, dressed and everything. Now,
in a plot twist no one saw coming, Ms. Brown recounts the saga of her pregnancy announcement to Mr. Rutledge's family. Ms. Brown recounts how she first informed Mr. Rutledge's sister about her pregnancy and his initial disbelief. She details Mr. Rutledge's reluctance to embrace the pregnancy and his push for an abortion, showcasing his hesitance to take on fatherly duties. The next chapter in this saga is even more gripping.
So, when you found out you were pregnant, you told Mr. Rutledge?
I told his sister first.
So you told his sister first?
Yes.
How did that conversation go?
Told her I was pregnant, kind of was in shock and stuff, and she just let me know, like, you know, you do know, like, if you decide to keep this baby, it's a chance that you're gonna go through it by yourself. Told her that I was pregnant. After I told her, I called Mr. Rutledge. I called him and let him know, like, yes, I'm pregnant.
Tempers flare and the gloves come off in a no-holds-barred exchange of accusations. A heated exchange unfolds as accusations about threats and irresponsible statements concerning the child's well-being are hurled back and forth. This confrontation exposes the deep emotional rift between Ms. Brown and Mr. Rutledge and their respective families, setting the stage for even more jaw-dropping revelations. Get ready for the emotional fireworks that follow.
She said, I hope the baby dies. I'm not gonna tell you what she told me about my kid. She came to my mom's house, said she was gonna leave her daughter on the doorstep of my mom. I said, don't do that because I'm not there, no one's there. She said, I don't care, man, I'm coming there. She took a picture of the door and sent it to my phone.
I did not. The day that I took the picture of his door was not the day that I so-called told him something like that. I came to his house because me and him.
As the DNA results are about to be disclosed, everyone in the courtroom leans in. The DNA test results are revealed.
In the case of Brown versus Rutledge, when it comes to 1-year-old Sanaya Rutledge Brown, Mr. Rutledge, it has been determined by this court that you are her father.
What? Now what? What y'all gotta say? Exactly. I thought that's what y'all had to say.
The courtroom buzzed with anticipation as Ms. Brewington stepped forward, ready to drop a truth bomb. Ms. Brewington opens her case, stating her intent to prove that Mr. Lee is the biological father of her 3-year-old son, Giovanni. She argues that Mr. Lee has denied paternity to avoid child support responsibilities, even though he has acted as Giovanni's father since his birth. The stakes are high, and you won't believe what's coming next.
Ms. Brewington, you are here to prove your 3-year-old son, Giovanni, is Mr. Lee's biological child, and you claim Mr. Lee has been a father to your your son since the day he was born and is denying paternity because he wants to avoid.
Yes, Your Honor.
Brace yourself. Just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, Mr. Lee grabs the mic. Mr. Lee counters Ms. Brewington's claims by asserting he has always known Giovanni was not his son. He accuses Ms. Brewington of lying and using him for financial gain, setting the stage for a contentious courtroom debate. The gloves are off, folks, and it's about to get even wilder.
Mr. Lee, you say you've known from day one Giovanni was not your son, and you are here to prove Ms. Brewington is a liar and has been using you for money.
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll need to sit down for this one. The atmosphere thickened as Mr. Lee vehemently denied any romantic ties at the time of conception. The confrontation heats up with Mr. Lee denying any relationship with Ms. Brewington at the time of Giovanni's conception, despite them living together. Ms. Brewington humorously contradicts him, highlighting their shared bed and household, which evokes laughter from the audience. Hold on to your seats because this roller coaster is nowhere near stopping.
I want to know why you have doubt.
At the time that Gio was conceived, we were not having no type of intercourse. We were not.
You don't believe you were working on the relationship at the time Giovanni was conceived?
No, not at all.
Your Honor, I was living with him. We were living in the same household, in the same bed.
Were you living in the same house?
Around the time, yes.
But you weren't together. So were you sharing a bed?
Yes, ma'am.
And fluid.
Things take a surprising twist as Ms. Brewington recounts her unexpected pregnancy revelation. Ms. Brewington recounts discovering her pregnancy during a routine visit for birth control, which surprised Mr. Lee. He skeptically bought multiple pregnancy tests, all of which confirmed the pregnancy, leading to his denial and claims they had not been intimate. The drama escalates from here, so get ready for a jaw-dropping turn of events at the birth.
Found out that I was pregnant. I actually went to the doctor to just re-up on my birth control. So I went ahead, they did a pregnancy test. It came up positive. I told him, he did not believe me at all. He went out and got 3 pregnancy tests, made me take all of them. They were all positive. And he was like, well, that's not my baby because we didn't have sex.
You won't believe the audacity. The courtroom gasped at Mr. Lee's audacious claims about Ms. Brewington's weight. As Ms. Brewington prepares for Giovanni's birth, Mr. Lee tells others she is just gaining weight from fast food, not pregnant. His denial persists even as she goes into labor, further complicating their relationship and casting doubt on his role in Giovanni's life. But just wait, the hospital scene is up next, and it's a real doozy.
Throughout this pregnancy, as you prepare for the birth of Giovanni, was Mr. Lee present?
He was telling people I was just getting fat. He was like, she just eats a lot of fast food. Everybody was my friends were rubbing my stomach. I'm showing ultrasounds to people. He's like, don't believe her, she's just fat. The entire time. I'm talking about, I'm going into labor. He's like, no, you're not.
What kind of denial is this? Mr. Lee, you taking denial part.
Exactly.
And just when you think you've seen it all, Mr. Lee throws us a curveball at the hospital. Despite earlier denials, Mr. Lee quickly changes his tune at the hospital following Giovanni's birth. He signs the birth certificate and even insists on naming the boy. Actions that contradict his previous denials and disbelief about the pregnancy. Buckle up because the DNA test results are about to shake things up even more.
So take me to the day you gave birth to Giovanni. Was Mr. Lee there?
He came after I had given birth because he had work. He actually didn't even, they asked about the birth certificate and everything. He signed the birth certificate. He named my son. He was like, no, I'm not letting you give my son no dumb name. I actually told him to, I was like, you don't want to wait? I offered the DNA test in the hospital.
But you signed the birth certificate, right?
Yes, I did.
As the truth starts to peek through, Mr. Lee tries to make sense of his conflicting actions. The court delves into the emotional and legal implications of Mr. Lee's decision to sign the birth certificate despite his doubts, highlighting his legal responsibilities as the father and the incongruences in his actions and statements throughout the case. The tension is building, and the DNA results are about to drop like a bomb. Get ready for the reveal.
That's not why you signed a birth certificate.
I didn't know I couldn't take my name back off. I wasn't aware of that. I wouldn't have signed it.
So you weren't aware of the law. And then you walk in and you just say, well, I might as well just sign the birth certificate like you supersizing your fries or something. And then Ms. Brewington, it doesn't really make sense to me, is offering him a DNA test if you are 100% sure.
Was because I was 100% sure. He has any doubts, you know, I carried the baby. Go ahead. I don't mind making you look stupid. That's why I'm here now.
The room goes silent as Jerome prepares to unveil the DNA test results. The dramatic climax unfolds as the DNA test results are revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
Told y'all.
Can you believe what just unfolded? Ms. Eubanks confidently claims that proving Mr. Wilkes is the father of her 3-month-old son will save their relationship and pave the way for marriage. She's absolutely sure of his paternity and eager to start planning their wedding. Just when you think the water's calm, the next wave hits even harder.
Ms. Eubanks, you say you are here to save your relationship with the defendant by proving that he is your 3-month-old son, Ma's father. You say once today's DNA results prove paternity, you want to get married.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did that just happen? Deeply affected, Ms. Eubanks pours her heart out about the deep pain and frustration of having the paternity of her child questioned by Mr. Wilkes. The emotional toll is visible as she describes how these doubts have shaken her to the core. Brace yourself, because the emotional roller coaster just takes a steeper dive.
Just emotional, like, we've been together too long, so you shouldn't have no doubts or no feelings that anything else is going on.
And it's not just that he's doubting you, he's doubting your baby.
Yeah.
And how does that feel as a mother? No mother wants to feel that.
It hurts a little bit, but he still does everything like father is supposed to.
And yet you have tears in your eyes.
Because I love him and I want to be with him. It just hurts sometimes.
What a bombshell that was. Mr. Wilkes opens up about his profound uncertainties regarding the paternity of Mozzie, sharing that even the Simba moment didn't help him feel a connection to his son. This revelation is quite the plot twist, and guess what? The story thickens even more from here.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here. I just need results. Guessing, wondering, and things of that sort. We have been together for so long, so I shouldn't have doubts, but I have my reasoning. It's just the connection. It wasn't there when he first came. You know, like, my kids all give me certain signs, you know what I mean? I just didn't feel any type of connection.
And I can see that you don't take this light. You are troubled about this.
Exactly.
This twist is straight out of a movie. A pivotal moment occurs when Mr. Wilkes discloses that he found a suspicious video on Ms. Eubanks' phone, sparking doubts about her loyalty during their time apart. The courtroom braces to watch this potentially game-changing evidence. The upcoming footage is a must-see, and trust me, it delivers the drama.
I still had this intuition, so I went through the phone one night and seen a video. I mean, I have video of something that's showing me.
What? Did you bring that video to court?
I have the video when she said she had eyes for me. This is during our little separation. That's her dance. She's bent over. She just slapped the camera. That's a guy behind her. You can't really see it. You kind of see it? You see that grinding?
Oh, I see it.
You won't see this one coming. In a climactic turn of events, the DNA test results are finally revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Wilkes, you are the father.